Coronavirus cases is climbing. 244 cases have been reported in Maryland. 3 people have died. Governor Hogan says he's frustrated people aren't taking social distancing seriously. WJZ is live. Amy Kawada brings us the latest. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Max. Well, this is a situation that we all know by now is constantly changing. And as the number of coronavirus cases here in Maryland shows no signs of slowing down, the governor says it's so important right now for everyone to take these warnings seriously.
We've got to get people off the streets and out of these crowds. It's absolutely essential.
It's the governor's starkest warning yet. On Sunday, health officials confirmed over 240 positive cases of COVID-19 in Maryland, up from 190 on Saturday, with Cecil County among 4 new counties reporting their first case. University of Maryland confirming a 4th case of coronavirus affiliated with a staff member.
It's not enough, and failures were made and things that should have happened sooner.
Across the state, malls were shut down, gyms locked their doors, and restaurants and bars switched to carry out only. The mayor of Ocean City announced beach closures until April 15th. On NBC's Meet the Press Sunday, Governor Larry Hogan called social distancing necessary.
Social distancing is not being enforced, and it's a little crazy to see the kind of crowds at the cherry blossoms. I mean, people have to listen. There's people that are out there. I mean, you are endangering not only yourselves, but your fellow citizens.
So far, the state's reported 3 COVID-19 related deaths. The latest, a woman in her 40s in Montgomery County who had underlying health conditions. Governor Hogan called for stricter enforcement nationwide to help stop the spread.
Nobody knows where the end of this is or when the spikes are going to happen, but progress is going to be if we can somehow bend this curve downward and we can start to stop that spike.
And we are expecting to hear from Governor Larry Hogan this morning at 11. Be sure to stay with us right here on air and online as we work to bring you the latest. Reporting live this morning, I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.
President Trump and the coronavirus task force spoke about the fight against the pandemic. Computer companies are helping to study it, and supplies are being sent across the country. The president says we're at war with an invisible enemy.
For those of you who are feeling alone and isolated, I want you to know that we are all joined together as one people, eternally linked by our shared national spirit. We love our country, a spirit of courage and love and patriotism. No American is alone as long as we are united, and we are united. We're very united.
There are about 32,000 cases of the coronavirus across the country, and at least 400 people have died. The Senate failed to pass a nearly $2 trillion stimulus bill last night after Democrats complained it didn't do enough for workers. Republican leaders say they'll try to vote on the same bill again later today. Here's Riley Carlson for WJZ.
The Senate failed to pass a massive stimulus package last night to fight the economic fallout from the coronavirus outbreak.
The motion is not agreed to.
Democrats called it a slush fund for corporations.
Also very troubling in the bill were significant shortfalls of money that our hospitals, states, cities, and medical workers desperately needed.
Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell accused Democrats of playing politics.
Fiddling with the emotions of the American people, fiddling with the markets, fiddling with our health care.
At the White House, President Trump urged Congress to get a deal done.
We're going to help the worker anyway, but ideally they can go back to one of their great companies.
Richard Pollack, CEO of the American Hospital Association, says the president needs to use the Defense Production Act to compel companies to start making equipment.
The masks, the gowns, the goggles, that type of equipment to protect our healthcare heroes that are on the front lines. That is what is most essential now. If we don't protect our healthcare workers, the system will completely collapse.
The head of FEMA says companies are already stepping up.
It's really amazing that how great America is. All these companies are coming up asking us what they can do to help.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says his city is just days away from running out of supplies.
It's only getting worse, and in fact, April and May are going to be a lot worse.
Yesterday, President Trump ordered FEMA to set up mobile hospitals in the hardest hit states, Washington, California, and New York. Riley Carlson, CBS News.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is offering a self-checker for people who believe they may have symptoms of the coronavirus. The online bot nicknamed Clara helps users decide whether they should seek appropriate medical care for their illness. The website asks a series of questions to find just how sick you are and then makes recommendations about which health services to call and when. It also can tell you which state health departments to contact for help. The coronavirus is affecting many businesses, especially the ones in the tourism industry. Some of them are using this as a time to help other people. Here's Sean Stryker.
People are being asked to stay home. Businesses like Hotel Revival knew they would be taking a hit, but instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they decided to reach out to other businesses being affected and offer a helping hand. As restrictions to fight COVID-19 continue to be implemented, the tourism industry, like so many others, are feeling the impact.
Okay, just one moment. It'd be my pleasure to connect you.
But at Hotel Revival in Mount Vernon, they're looking at this as a time to help others.
We believe that the commercial side of things will take care of itself. We really want to be a positive impact in our community.
Dante Johnson is the general manager of Hotel Revival, where they are opening up their kitchen to restaurants or chefs who no longer have a place to work, so they can operate a carry-out business.
So if you were in one of Baltimore's many market locations and those spaces are closed down, we can allow you to do pickup service from the valet drive at the hotel, and you can operate out of our kitchen.
Jason Bass is acting as the liaison between the restaurants and the hotel. He says they've already received interest from 25 small businesses looking to take advantage of the free service.
We all have to do our share in a time of crisis, and only thing we can really manage is our response.
Also managing the response in a way that serves the community, the American Visionary Art Museum.
We know that community engagement is still important during this time, so we're doing what we can to bring ourselves virtually to our visitors.
Like providing online at-home art workshops using items you may already have laying around the house.
We're hoping to keep people engaged through our online channels that we have available to us.
And while online art classes and open kitchen space won't solve everything, it's a start.
We obviously can't do everything, but there's certainly people who we can help, and that's really our focus right now.
Reporting from Mount Vernon, I'm Sean Stryker for WJZ.
638, the coronavirus is a major roadblock for Americans trying to get outside of the U.S., trying to get back home. Jessa and Mallory are Towson University alums and among 12 Americans trying to get home from Honduras. There's a similar situation in Peru where the Boyle family is stuck in a hotel.
We really need the support of the federal government. I don't think that this can be done unless it's government to government.
The family has booked flights for after the travel ban is lifted, which is supposed to be March 31st. But the Peruvian government could lengthen those restrictions, keeping them there longer. Both groups have reached out to the U.S. government for help and are waiting to see what happens next. In an attempt to keep everyone in good spirits during this outbreak, staff at Timonium Elementary hosted a parade, but they did it in a unique way to continue practicing social distancing. Teachers drove down streets in the neighborhoods where their students live to say hello to them and their families. They say the idea came together in just 24 hours. They created their cars and signs to spread that joy around.
Oh, it just warms your heart. It's just so wonderful to see everybody out, and it reminds me why I teach.
I think it was cool that they just planned this whole thing just so they could tell us that they miss us.
Students say they're doing schoolwork each day to keep up. As students adjust to remote learning, one local high school has been inadvertently preparing for this outbreak for months. Sean Stryker spoke with students and staff at the Institute of Notre Dame who recently began online distance learning.
Students here at IND haven't attended class on campus since Friday the 13th. But thanks to online classes, something they've been using since December, they say they haven't missed a beat.
Janissaries were a big issue.
This is the new classroom for students at the Institute of Notre Dame, an all-girls private high school in Baltimore.
Anatolia refers to this peninsula here, right, the Turkish peninsula.
Using various online teaching tools, the school began online distance learning this past week.
Well, all of our kids have been really responsive. We've told them that they have to check in and for attendance at the beginning of every class, and they've been doing that.
Through a one-on-one program, every student at IND has access to a tablet PC, and unaware a worldwide pandemic was on the horizon, they began practicing with online learning in December.
We actually, ironically, began preparing not for coronavirus, but for a big snowstorm in December.
Lisa Wetzel is the assistant head of school academics.
Our rigor is not going to change. we will be delivering the same lessons that we would deliver in the classroom. Now it's just going to be via video.
It's one of the reasons sophomore Meredith Whites says she doesn't worry about falling behind.
Because we started right where we left off. We're still working on what we're working on. We still have our tests scheduled. So I'm not worried about being behind because I think we're definitely keeping on pace.
And she credits her teachers for helping them prepare.
They really made sure we knew how to work the system, and they made sure that we all had access to it before the whole thing started.
Admittedly, there may be some challenges like connectivity and internet issues.
I'm not meaning to sound like it's going to be problem-free, but I think they're all going to be concerns that we can work through.
All in an effort to ensure students continue learning in these trying times. Now, many of those online teaching resources are offering free trials or lifting restrictions on their basic free versions to help students and teachers through this difficult time. Sean Stryker for WJZ.
Stay with WJZ as we follow the latest in the coronavirus pandemic. We have everything you need to know on WJZ.com.